Yesterday, we looked at the 7 objection types, and we looked at the type and the percentage that makes up from the whole, and an example of what someone might say when they're experiencing uncertainty in any one of those areas. We believe that all objections have as their root uncertainty, that it's a smokescreen for their uncertainty. So let's look at a strategy, and I'm going to share 3 things that you need to go to work on to build certainty. Notice, I'm not saying that you say these 3 things. I'm saying that you create and that you develop language patterns around these topics. So let's look at the first one. This is the price objection, right? Your strategy to build certainty is you're going to highlight the value and the ROI, the return on the investment of your product. You're going to break down the cost over time and offer financing options or discounts if feasible. For this objection, I'm not looking for you to tell the person the ROI and the value of the product. That doesn't do it. I'm looking for you to share a story, an example, or research-backed data point that builds certainty about the ROI. So all through these daily insights and all through our course, everything that I share and my team shares is based on proven research. There is an actual study that backs it up, or there's a data point that is verifiable. This builds certainty that you aren't wasting your time learning something from someone that thinks it works. So think about how you can build certainty in all 7 of these objections. Okay, so let's take a look. So the person is concerned about ROI. Rather than me saying, well, the ROI is blah, 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 I want to share an example, a data point, and a story, and I want to build credibility. I want to use these principles of influence. So I'm going to say, look, I understand budget concerns. However, when the U.S. Department of Defense studied our system in 6 of their deep water nuclear subs, they found that ours was the only software that met the standard for long-term savings and increased efficiency. Imagine 3 years from now, when our solution has actually paid for itself and begins to actually add to your bottom line for the next 7 years. So you see, I'm not just telling them, well, it's a great ROI. I'm building authority. I'm using social proof. I'm stacking these principles of influence so that I can build emotional and logical certainty. Let's take a look at number 2. The objection is, doubts about the necessity for the product or the service. You want to emphasize the problem-solving aspect of the product. You want to share success stories and case studies. And you want to ask questions that uncover the latent needs that they may have. So again, whenever you're facing the objection of them not being sure if your product or your service is, what they need right now, I'm not suggesting that you just tell them things. It's not about giving them facts and figures. It's not just about features and benefits. It's about being able to share real situations that are similar to theirs, and ideally that are with similar clients, people who face the exact same problem in the same industry, ideally in the same geographical area, in the same kind of marketplace. The third objection was the hesitation about timing of the purchase. In this case, you want to create a sense of urgency by highlighting time-sensitive benefits. What are the time-sensitive benefits? So you want to use scarcity here. Also, incentives for quicker decisions works really well. So this again, using scarcity, that if they make a decision by this time, and remember, we want to always use loss framing. It's not about what they're going to save, it's what they're going to lose. People are much more driven by the fear of losing than they are by gaining. And the third thing you can do is you want to stress the cost of inaction. What's this costing them if they don't solve this problem now? Number 4, we talked about the trust or credibility objection, right? And this concerns the reliability of the product or the reliability of your company. This is the credibility question. And so again, this is building social proof. So it's testimonials, it's reviews, it's case studies. You also can use free trials and demonstrations. So you can use here reciprocity is a great strategy in overcoming this objection. And you can share your company's track record, build on your authority. Don't be afraid to blow your own horn here. Not just about the company, not just about the product, but about you. Like what have you accomplished? How have you walked this problem with somebody else? And share a real story. Number 5 is the authority objection, right? And this deals with decision-making authority. Do they have the decision? This is tough because in many cases we know, I don't want to say that the prospect lies, but they mislead us, right? And so we want to do our very best to identify all the stakeholders early in the process. And in this case, I think where most people fail, they fail to make it really safe for the person to say that they're not the decision maker. They're afraid that the salesperson will say, well, you know what, then I'm not going to spend any time with you like at all. Because, if Jim or Mary needs to be at the table, then let's hold off on the meeting. And maybe they've been charged with, doing the first leg of the process. And so what we want to do is we want to make it safe for them not to be the only stakeholder. Like if you know that in most cases, there's other people who are involved in the decision making, then say that up front and use that as a builder of credibility. Jim, in my 20 years that I've been doing this, I find that usually what happens is we have a champion or pioneer like you that gets the process going, and there's other stakeholders when the final decision's made. So what I'd like to do is, with your permission, I'd like to go ahead and get started now with you as the champion and pioneer for the process. And then as we go through, maybe you can share a list of some of the other stakeholders that might be involved in the decision-making process. Do you see how you can do that? The second thing you can do is offer to present to other decision makers. So you might want to say, what I'm going to do, Jim, is I'm going to give you these resources in order for you to bring this forward to the board and provide comprehensive information that can be shared with others all through the process. Number 6 is the fit objection, right? This concerns whether the product or the service is a fit for them. So what you can do is customize the presentation and show how the product meets their specific needs. In many cases, if you're able to go ahead and kind of take something that they've already done and implement your craft to it. As an example, when I was first creating digital products, I had a bunch of stuff on YouTube, videos that were on YouTube, and I got an email from a young guy in Ireland. I'd never met him before, and he said, hey, I'm an editor, a video editor. I was watching some of your stuff, love your work, but boy, your videos are boring. Take a look at this 3-minute video that I took of yours and I enhanced. And when I watched it, he had added subtitles, he put it to music, he put B-roll. He made the video come alive. So he was able to help me see how a video editor really did fit in with what I was doing. To be honest with you, I can't tell you how many video editor emails I had deleted before his, but he was the only one to actually customize the presentation and show me how his product, how his service fit what I was doing. Also, demonstrate your flexibility, demonstrate your adaptability with that. Provide examples, again, of similar clients who benefited. Number 7 was the comparison objection, right? And this is comparisons to other competitors or solutions. So you want to highlight really unique features and benefits that your competitors simply don't offer. When I was in the cleaning business, we were the only cleaning company that cleaned with HEPA vacuum cleaners. Nobody else was doing that. We were the only ones that used surgical microfiber cleaning cloths instead of just terry cloth or cotton towels. These were the things that separated us, made us completely unique to everybody else. So emphasize your product's superior value, your customer service, and provide, whenever you can, side-by-side comparisons of what your product does and how it works. See, when you understand and you prepare for these common objections, you significantly improve your effectiveness and your close rates. And not just kind of telling people information, but building a case for it. You have to get really good at this. You have to master overcoming objections. When you do this, it allows for what I would call strategic responses, and it addresses their concerns directly in a really constructive way that pays for a more successful sales interaction. Lastly, always remember, people decide on emotion. They decide on emotion and not with logic. So your emotional tonality here is critical, and your ability to future pace them to the desired state will help connect with them on an emotional level. Just giving them facts and figures won't do it. It's not going to do it. You have to really engage. You have to be a pro. You have to be a pro. Remember, experience is going to be your best teacher. So apply what you've learned in this 2-part series, and you're going to find that it's going to pay off big dividends for you. I'll see you tomorrow.